What is going on, guys? We are back with another episode of our trade breakdown series. In today's video, guys, I'm gonna be walking you through exactly how I made just over $1,200 on PLTR puts in just under 30 minutes. I'm gonna walk you through my exact entry and exit strategy as well as the preparation I did for this trade. Let's get into it right now. All right, guys, so per usual, thank you for tuning in to another episode. If you like these videos, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as it helps out the channel a ton, and we love to keep bringing you these free trade recaps. As always, guys, this was traded live inside the Discord. If you'd like to give us a shot for a month and try out the Discord, you can click that link in the description of this video, enter the code STREAM20, and that'll give you 20% off, and you can come trade live with us daily. Now, with that being said, let's get into the video, guys. First off, I want to talk about where this trade came from, right? As we always do on these trade recap videos, guys, we always have to talk about, okay, well, where did the trade originate from? Where did that plan originate from? I talk about it all the time on Twitter, but it's really the plan, prepare, execute motto, guys. The preparation for this trade was done last night. I made a video inside the Discord for our members showing them exactly what I was going to be looking at. I even posted this exact trade idea on my primary Twitter account, saying that if we gapped up into the 16 level on PLTR here, I would be looking to likely fade that on any weakness. And guys, this is exactly what we got, right? High of the day on PLTR today was that 1571 area. Intraday, we had a pre-market high near that 16 level. Let's talk about why I was looking to fade or to short that 16 level, guys, okay? And it's really fairly simple. We are currently looking at the PLTR daily chart, okay? And we can clearly identify that we had very strong area of support, right? And as we know, old support becoming new resistance is bearish, right? Just like old resistance becoming new support is bullish. In this case, we had an old support on PLTR right here. If you look at the daily chart from mid-July, right, we had 5 straight days here, guys, where we created some very strong support, right? Low of the day on this candle from July 21st, 16 on the dot, 1612 the next day, 1635 the next day, 1615 or 16 the next day after that, right? We had a very strong cohort of support at this $16 level on PLTR, right? We can identify that just because we had 5 days of basing at that price point before we shot to new highs, right? And that's when we gapped up to this 20 level and then we sold down. Now, you can also tell that this 16 level is now turning into resistance. Why? Well, if you look, after we gapped down, right, at the start of this month, we created some very strong resistance, right? We had 5 days of consolidation here into that 16 zone, but we just could not break it, right? And then we failed and we tested that 1358. Now, this 1358 level is a very important level as well because this was our target area, right? When you have a pivot like this, guys, which has, created so many large moves in the past and has been a major level, right? We talk about a pivot. It's a major area of support or resistance that is causing very volatile and large moves, right? Had we broken 16, right, with strength today, I thought we honestly could have gapped into 17 or 18, right? But I knew that if we faded off that 16 level this morning, we had a good chance to retest that prior daily support at that 1358 level, right? Which is a huge support line all the way back to June. So on the chart today, okay, let's understand where we were kind of coming from in terms of entries and exits. Now, I was actually quote unquote late to this trade, right? As much as I wanted to play the open move, guys, the open has been honestly pretty treacherous lately, right? Like if you're right on direction, you get paid. But, there's that element, right, where I like to eliminate as much guesswork as possible. And so I actually waited until about 10:45. So I actually entered this trade at 10:43 a.m. this morning, guys. I bought 200 contracts of the PLTR 14 puts for $10 per contract. Now, these puts ended up actually eventually going in the money, which is where I sold the majority of my position. And we are going to talk about why I entered this trade, okay? Now, this 1465 level was a really important spot on this 15-minute chart. And we're looking back here, guys. As you guys know, I like to use the hourly chart to really map out those key pivots that I'm going to be looking at. And then I look for entries off of the 5 and the 15-minute, right? So in this case, guys, we had a very strong point of support at this 1456 area, right? We had pre-market support here on the 23rd. And then we also had kind of low of the day from August 22nd, right? So some prior days confluence at that level. We got a 15-minute test up to 1456 here on this chart. And that was actually my game plan for the entry here. I saw the relative weakness. I knew that we had room to 1365 below. And so I thought those 14 puts were a really advantageous spot. And I took them off of the rejection into that 1045 candle at the 1456 level. Now, if we look at the 5-minute chart, guys, I'm going to pull up the 5-minute here as well. You can really tell that we were starting to create some resistance on these two prior candles, right? These two prior 5-minute candles at 1030, at 1035, at 1040. And so my risk here was going to be a 5-minute close over 1456. We got a really nice initial move down. We created, right, what looked like we were trying to create some support at that 1438 level, right, which was also a key level on the hourly chart, which we talked about. My goal here, guys, for this trade was a breakdown under 1438, and I was looking for a move into 1365. Low of the day today, 1388, so about 20 cents off. However, guys, like I said, I was short via those $10 puts. And like I said, I was, long the $10 puts, but that was my short vehicle for this trade. Rather than shorting the equity, I took the weekly 14 puts here. And like I said, guys, as soon as we cracked that 1438 level, which you can see we created some support here on the 5-minute there, I knew that if we cracked that level, we were going to get a really nice move, guys. And we cracked that level on increased volume into these 5-minute candles below. So the way that I scaled out of this trade was pretty simple, guys. So again, entered at 1043. I scaled about half my position here, guys, at 42%. And this was at that 1059 candle. So this was going into the 11 o'clock candle. So as soon as we got that breakdown under 1438 into this candle close, guys, at 11, I started to scale my position. I sold half my position there. But the key here, guys, and the way that I was able to achieve over a 68% return on this trade in total was I sold really only 60% of my position at 84%. I sold 130 of 200 contracts at 84%, guys, and I really started scaling the majority of that latter half of the position, guys, in the 100, 150% range on the return, right? And so the way that I was able to maximize the return here, right? We talk about that all the time. I personally think options are a tool to risk small amounts of capital for outsized returns. In this case, guys, I only risked just under $2,000 on this position, and I made over $1,200, right, guys? That is an absolutely insane return on capital invested. And for a weekly options contract, guys, I think that's, absolutely insane. So like I said, guys, it's really just one A+ setup to bring you guys that freedom each and every day. And this was A+++++. A ton of people in the Discord got even better entries than I did. I ended up selling 180 of 200 on these PLTR puts as they were in the money down here, guys. At this 14 level. That was a beautiful trade. They ended up returning 178% at that point. So I was about 90% out of the position at that point. And then I sold all but 15 runners at 200% return, guys. And I sold all but 10 contracts at 200% on these guys. So they were up to $30 per contract, and sold my last 10 runners after that. So really beautiful trade. Like I said, guys, returned over 200%. And if you look, guys, my final exit here was at 11:31 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So in total, even scaling out the last chunk of runners, guys, this was about a 45-minute trade to make just under $1,300. So this was a very simple setup, guys. Really identifying those key levels on the daily chart and on the 4-hour, guys. That 16 level was our major spot. And then coming in and realizing, okay, 1465, that was our lows from the 22nd, right? Using those prior day or two lows, right? From this past week, guys, that was a really important level, which ended up triggering this move. The breakdown under 1438 was absolutely fantastic, guys. And if we look back on the hourly chart, right, this move was kind of a dead giveaway, right? Because the last time that we cracked that 1438 level, we got a beautiful move down to 1362. So this was an absolutely A+ setup, guys, and really one of those where it's planned out the night before. It's a higher time frame setup, and it paid well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this trade recap video. As always, guys, like I said, stay tuned. Make sure you guys are subscribed and like the video, because we're going to be dropping these each and every week. And like I said, guys, if you'd like to join us inside the Discord for live trading, hit that link below in the description, and you'll get 20% off. We'll see you guys in the Discord. Peace.